Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're wading into, well, a pretty common sight in the hair care aisle, Nizoral Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. You've probably seen the ads, heard the claims like clinically proven, and maybe that specific one, 10 times more effective, caught your eye. So the big question you have is this stuff really a game changer, or is it maybe just, an overhyped gimmick? Our mission here is to really dig into the sources. We'll check out the company behind it, look at the power of that active ingredient, and crucially, talk about the caveats for you, the consumer. Is it worth the hype, or maybe a potential headache?
Okay, yeah, let's start with the corporate side. Does it pass the basic sniff test? And it does. The U.S. rights belong to Kramer Laboratories, and they're under a larger company, Arcadia Consumer Healthcare. This isn't some, drop-shipped product from nowhere. They have a real office, Bridgewater, New Jersey, I believe, and they've been operating for decades. So it's a legitimate business.
Okay, so a real company, not some fly-by-night thing.
Exactly. And that matters for you because if you buy it through, say, Amazon, your purchase is backed by standard policies. Returns, payments, all that stuff is handled reliably.
Good to know. So the business seems solid. What about the actual stuff in the bottle, that active ingredient, Ketoconazole? Why is that the big deal here?
Right, ketoconazole. Well, this is what you'd call a big league antifungal. It's up there with ingredients like selenium sulfide or zinc parathion you might see in other dandruff shampoos. But ketoconazole is often seen as, well, a bit more targeted, particularly for controlling the fungus linked to sebum and stubborn flakes. That's really what you're paying the premium for over maybe cheaper, more common options. It tackles that Malassezia yeast directly.
Right. Okay, so a powerful targeted ingredient. But does that justify that huge marketing claim, the 10 times more effective line? We really need to get to the bottom of that one.
Yeah, that claim needs context. And the answer is, well, not in the way you might think comparing two bottles side by side. The sources are pretty clear. That 10 times figure comes from lab comparisons of the raw ketoconazole active ingredient against other raw active ingredients. It's not testing a finished bottle of Nizoral against a finished bottle of something else you'd find on the shelf. It's about the potential of the core chemical itself in a lab setting.
Ah, okay. That's a really key distinction.
Yeah.
So the ingredient is potent in the lab, but how does that translate to using it? If it's that strong, using it every day seems like it might be too much.
Exactly, and that's precisely where people get tripped up. This is probably the single most important point. Nizoral isn't designed for daily washing. Think of it more like a treatment, a medication for your scalp. The drug facts label, customer reviews, everything points to the same thing. Use it only twice a week. That's the intended cadence.
Right. And when people don't follow that,
Yeah.
that's when we see the negative feedback, isn't it? Things like serious dryness, hair feeling totally stripped, maybe color-treated hair feeding really fast.
Precisely. Those complaints almost always track back to people treating it like their regular everyday shampoo. You've got sulfates in there, which are strong cleansers, combined with this potent antifungal. That combination is designed to really cut through oil and deal with the fungus. If you use that powerful mix daily, you're basically overwhelming your scalp, stripping away all the natural protective oils way too often.
Yeah.
It's like taking double the dose of medicine every single day.
Okay, that makes sense. So connecting that back to the cost, maybe mid-$20 for a 14-ounce bottle, that sounds pricey for shampoo, but
But if you're only using it twice a week, that bottle lasts a surprisingly long time. Months, potentially.
right. So you're paying for a targeted, infrequent treatment, not a daily cleanser.
Exactly. Which also means, it might be smart to pair it with a really gentle, hydrating conditioner on the days you do use it. Or even use a completely different mild shampoo on the other 5 days of the week if your hair tends towards dryness.
Okay. So wrapping this up then, what's the final verdict? Legit product or overhyped?
I'd say it's definitely legit and can be very practical, especially if you've got stubborn flakes that haven't responded well to, say, the standard zinc shampoos. The clinically proven part holds up, the active ingredient is powerful, but, and this is the big, but only if you use it correctly, that twice-weekly cadence is non-negotiable for success.
Okay, so specific advice for you listening. If your dandruff is pretty mild, maybe just occasional flakes, or if your hair is color-treated and gets dry easily, you might want to weigh the cost and benefits carefully. Consider alternating it, like we discussed Nizoral twice a week, something gentle the rest of the time. Best bet. Give it a solid try, following the instructions, twice weekly for maybe a month before you decide if it's the right solution for you. And here's something to maybe think about until next time. When you're looking at any product, especially one with strong claims and active ingredients, how often does the real key between success and disappointment just come down to actually reading and following the usage instructions that Cadence printed right there on the label, resisting that urge to think more is better with something powerful, something to mull over.